So at Berkeley, we get free housing and a free meal plan for being a resident assistant. What is up, everyone? It is Rachel. Welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be college prep episode 4. If you haven't seen the first 3 videos, definitely check them out. I'll link the playlist down below because the other videos I was talking about how to ace your college application essays, how to survive communal bathrooms, how to choose your major, and then now we're here with why you should be a resident assistant at college. So if you have any suggestions for what you want to see in this series, definitely leave a comment down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe so I know that these videos are actually helpful. So yeah, jumping right into it, in this video I'm talking about being a resident assistant, also known as an RA. I usually talk about being an RA on tours. All the parents are like, oh my god, I want my kid to be an RA, and I'm like, hey, ha, yes. I thought this would be a great thing to talk about on video because sometimes I also mention RA and then no one knows what it is. So throughout the video, I'm going to be using RA as a shortened abbreviation for resident assistant. And so basically, going to college, literally every single college has RAs. They might be called something different at the college, but basically the premise is the same. You have these students who are probably older that are living on the floor with the first years or other students, and they're basically there to make sure that everything runs smoothly on the floor. So being an RA, you basically create community on your floor. So typically it's for freshman students where you create these community events where you can host like little parties for the students, where you buy food for the students with the budget that you get. I don't know, a really basic analogy, it's sort of like you're a camp counselor or something like that, but you're also a full-time student as well. So in addition to creating community for residents by doing these bonding events, which are for sure, if you're a first year next year, go to your RA's events. You can meet so many cool people on like the floor or even in the building. It's really good. That's how you meet people your first year, so definitely do that. In addition to doing these events, the RAs also handle crises situations. At least at Berkeley, we handle like lockouts and stuff like that. So if a student is locked out of their room, we have the spare master keys and we'll have to go and let them in. Also at the late night hours, if people are like being too loud, we'll tell them to be quiet. And also like if people are like having other emergencies, we'll go and handle that. And so we're all trained in those kind of things. So I guess the camp counselor analogy sort of works because it's like you're the leader of the people on your floor and you have to make sure everyone is safe and adjusting well to the college environment. But yeah, that's basically what an RA does. And so yeah, moving into why you should become an RA, definitely the perks. So at Berkeley, we get free housing and a free meal plan for being a resident assistant. And so I don't really like using the word free because we obviously work for it. Free, but you're actually working for it. So it's a compensation, basically. Other schools I know, their RAs also get stipends on top of free housing and free food. So it's a really, really great gig. And definitely for me as an out-of-state student to have room and board covered by being an RA, it's a lot of money. And so the perks probably is the biggest draw that people have for the position. Usually on tours when parents ask and I'll tell them that, then like their eyes get so big, like every single parent wants to save money because they're probably also paying an arm and a leg to send their student to the school. Whatever you can do like with scholarships and everything like that, being an RA definitely saves a lot of money too. Also being an RA, I think you can learn a lot of very, very valuable leadership skills as well. And I think it's just fun. My biggest draw to the position definitely be creating the community. And with the creation of community, you learn the leadership skills on how to lead and like mentor other people. And so my freshman year going into Berkeley, out of state, I was really, really scared because I did not know a single person at Berkeley. I'm like, what if I can't make any friends? Like I'm gonna be so lonely, whatever. I won't even have family around to like talk to or anything like that. So that that was something that I was super scared about my freshman year. So for me, not knowing anyone going into it, living in the residence halls my first year was a really great experience. Meeting the people on my floor, going to the RA community events gave me the friends that I know that I will have for life. I literally still hang out with these people. Spring break, all those people are people I met freshman year. So you can create these lifelong friendships by meeting people in the dorms. Being out of state, that is something that I really wanted to create for other students, and so that's what really drew me to the position, because I wanted to give back. Like, I was able to find a place and find a community here at Berkeley without knowing anyone. I wanted to help and do that for other people as well. So that's why I wanted to become an RA. My third thing, I think you gain a lot of valuable leadership experience by being an RA. Even though throughout high school I was involved in a lot of leadership activities, being in student government and like managing committees and stuff like that, I think being an RA is a lot of hands-on experience, you know, dealing with crises, creating events that people actually want to come out to, managing a budget, mentorship is all like really cool, and I think I've grown in the leadership aspect by being an RA in like ways that I can't even explain. And finally, the reason to become an RA is that you get to meet a bunch of cool people, whether it is your residents or your other RA co-workers. Like, you just expand your circles by a lot, more Instagram followers, but yeah, you just get to be in close proximity with a lot of people. So it's really cool just learning how other people grew up. If you're a people person, that's a huge draw of the job, because if you honestly like talking to people in the first place, like, it's gonna make it so much easier to talk to residents. If you're outgoing, you can already talk to people and people will like you, people will want to talk to you and confide in you as their RA. If you already have that kind of personality, like, you would fit great into that kind of role. One of the things that is hard about the job is that because you get room and board, your room is typically going to be on the same floor as all of your residents. You live where you work, which a lot of times it was very difficult my sophomore year when I was a first year RA to separate, like, okay, I'm home, but I'm also at my job. And so that's like really weird, because then sometimes I would feel like, oh, I'm always at my job, because whenever I'm home, I'm technically at my job kind of thing. Even if I'm not on duty, like having to manage calls or anything like that, I would hear people screaming in the hallway and I'm like, oh my God, you know, I need to go do something about it. Or people would have roommate conflicts and like you have to go and handle it, even if like you have an exam tomorrow kind of thing. I think a lot of people struggle with that aspect, because it's like, you want to be there for your students, but you also need to be there for yourself. And when you live where you work, it's very difficult to draw those boundaries and like create space for yourself to take. And so moving in to how to become a resident assistant, a lot of schools are probably similar to Berkeley, where being an RA is a highly sought after position, obviously because of the perks. I'm gonna base the application process off of what Berkeley does, but they're all probably very similar with like an application and essay interview kind of process. So last year's RA applications, we had over like 500 students apply for the role and only like 50 spaces available. So it's a very difficult position to get. Our RA applications open in the fall semester, mid-semester, so like October, November time. If you're first year, that's when I applied. So you're literally like 2 months into school already having to think about like next year and potentially being an RA. So it really is fast turnaround. So if you want to become a resident assistant and you're going into your freshman year next year, like, this is something you need to be thinking about right now, because if your school's applications are opening fall semester, like, you need to be on top of the ball and apply. But some schools, they might not apply until the spring. So I have a friend at a college on the East Coast and like their RA applications don't open till like March. So really depends. If you are interested at all, look it up at your school. So at Berkeley, the application opens in the fall and then you submit like written answers to questions. And then in the spring, there is an interview process, which is individual interviews and a group interview. And then after that, you're either like selected or waitlisted, and then you do like a training course in the spring, and then in the fall and in the spring also, we have additional training. So if you saw my college move-in video last year and like what college move-in even is really like. RAs have to go back literally like 3 weeks before classes start and like prepare the residence hall. So definitely check out those videos if you are interested in the like behind the scenes of move-in and like what the RA job really does. But yeah, that's typically the process. So yeah, basically this video is an overview of the resident assistant position that colleges have. Definitely something to start thinking about if you're going into college next year, or if you are already in college and you want to become an RA. As always, let me know if you have any questions or comments down below about the RA role, or if you have any other topics for the college prep series that you want to see me do. Thank you all so much for watching. It really means a lot. Make sure you like and subscribe so I know if these videos are actually helpful or not. And I will see you all in my next video.